Welcome to the Page Turner Adventures Creative Literacy Program, filled with crafts and activities that get kids excited about books and reading. And this module is all about steampunk. So don't worry if you don't know what steampunk is, because I'm going to tell you all about it.
Wait. They know what steampunk is. You know what steampunk is. You might not know that you know what steampunk is, but you know what steampunk is.
Thank you, Kenny. Yeah, you probably do know what steampunk is. It is a genre, it's an aesthetic, it's a style, it's a feel. It's basically a reimagined version of the Victorian era, although it can go all the way up to the 1920s. Steampunk is brass and copper and clockwork and gizmos and gadgets and cogs and
goggles.
Yeah, lots of goggles for some reason. We're gonna show you how to make those goggles in the how-to video. Steampunk is also about airships. There are often airships, which is why we put it in a workshop that is all about travel and adventure. And it really is an adventure genre. It's Jules Verne. It's, one way of describing it is Mad Max meets Jane Austen.
Essentially, it's tomorrow's technology, but with a Victorian aesthetic.
Thank you. That was very succinct, Kenny. Yes. Yes, so that is basically what steampunk is. And I love steampunk. It's really the look for everything that we do within our shows and our TV show. Even like our set is kind of a steampunky type of feel. And it's also becoming a really popular genre in YA and tween fiction. So let's look at some of the popular titles going on right now. Leviathan is a very big one right now and one of my favorites. I love this, by Scott Westerfeld. Now this doesn't take place in the Victorian era. This takes place in a reimagined version of World War I. And it's very cool, lots of very interesting airship action going on, and I'm not going to tell you all about it now. But there's also another book in this series right now called Behemoth, and more on the way. So, Leviathan. Also, from a popular teen author, Cassandra Clare, this is Clockwork Angel. So Clockwork, big thing in steampunk. And if you're familiar with her other series, this is the same world, but in the Victorian era. And also in this book, there happens to be a lot of paranormal action going on, which often happens in steampunk. For younger kids, there's the Larklight series, which I'm sure most of you are familiar with and might not even have realized that it's steampunk. But, you know, there's mechanical spiders and there's a whole Victorian mansion. It just happens to be in outer space. So, love this series. And, you know, speaking of space, we do have another book that is not really technically steampunk. It's called The True Meaning of Smek Day, but I put this in this section because, one, the book is hilarious. I really, really like this book. And it's about aliens that come to Earth. And they've got some crazy ray guns and things like that. So I figured it worked because ray guns are a big part of steampunk. We're going to play a game that goes with this book a little bit later. So another thing that we're going to talk about is this book. This is steampunk style jewelry. Now, this is just a really cool book. It's got some really interesting projects in here that you can make that have a steampunk feel. Ooh, look at that, see ray guns? That's a big part of it. But the problem with this book is it's a great place for inspiration and ideas, but the projects in here I find to be a little complicated and they can also get a little expensive. So we're going to make some easy, cheap, simple steampunk jewelry that Kenny is going to model for us right over here. Yes, so that is one of the pieces that we're going to make. And we're also going to make some little steampunk robots that can either be a necklace or a magnet or a keychain or something for a backpack. And Kenny is also modeling for us a lovely steampunk bracelet that we're going to make. And this is made out of a very, thank you Kenny, you're lovely, yes. That's made out of a really interesting material that we are also going to use to make our steampunk belts. So I love this belt. And we're gonna make these a little bit later in the how-to video. And again, it's made out of a really interesting material that I will tell you all about in that video. So there you have it. the steampunk belt. Now, I mentioned earlier that in the Clockwork Angel there's some paranormal stuff going on, and again, that's not always in steampunk, but a lot of times the two go together. A lot of times there are vampires and or zombies. So we're gonna play a game called
Brains.
Yeah, we're gonna play a game called Zombie Tag. That's a lot of fun. We'll tell you how to do that. It's an improv game, and we're also gonna play a game that is just an icebreaker, warm-up kind of game. Because again, we're trying to give you some different things, not just crafts, different activities that you can do with the teens. So there you go. Enjoy. Watch the how-to videos. Have fun with steampunk, and remember, when you read, every day is an adventure.
That was very nice. You did a really good job.
Thank you very much.
Let's go do some crafts.
Thanks for your comments. Input.
You weren't coming with me?
No. We'll fade to black. For more great crafts and activities, visit our blog at pageturneradventures.com.